So me and Lewis are seeing Follies tonight, and as usual I've been in classes since 9 o'clock this morning, screaming, doing drama, doing voice work, rubbing my face, massaging my throat, sticking my tongue out like this. So I'm on the tube, I'm doing my makeup on the tube. Lewis is helping me, so you know, and I just thought I might as well just vlog now because everyone's looking at me anyway. So I've never seen Follies. It's 2 hours run through. Lewis knows somebody in the cast, but they don't know him. It's like a family friend, so maybe we'll see them later. It is a mood. I know it's Stephen's Sondheim and I love company, so I'm excited for Follies. That's all I have to say. I don't even know what it's about, but apparently there's 40 people in the cast because my teacher saw it the other night. That's the end of that. Thanks, I'll see you later on.
Here for the district and Hammersmith.
Hello shisters and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's James Charles.
This train is ready to depart. Stand back, stand clear please. Miley's.
Lewis is sharing a headphone with me. Gold.
First and foremost, thank you very much for your patience and cooperation. You did let that train go. I really do appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Your next service.
That guy was great. That guy was fun. When you're listening to a musical, but you don't know the words, so you're just like having the time of your life, but you just don't know what you're saying. Like, you matter to me, Lewis. In a best friend kind of way. I mean, in the lover kind of way. So Follies, what do I get from the poster? Oh, it's just gone. From the poster, I'm getting sparkle, I'm getting big chorus numbers, I'm getting happiness, but I'm getting sadness because she's like crying glitter, and I'm getting colours. That's what I'm getting from the poster of Follies. And there's a female because she looks female in the poster. There she is. What have you got?
I've got row A, seat 18.
And what have I got?
Well, I don't know, you've got to pick your seat to get out.
Oh, I've got mine now. First of all, every show should have a free cast list. That's pretty great. I mean, I'm all for programmes, but this is grand.
Thank you very much.
Ooh, they're pink. They're very nice.
Thank you very much.
Ooh, show the vlog. Lovely. I feel like I'm here to see Hades Town. Like, we were literally here 2 weeks ago watching Hades Town closing night, and it feels so weird that it's not here now.
I was very intrigued when I was at the Olympics to watch the performance. Didn't really understand it, if I'm honest with you. Oh, look at this out. She big.
Wow.
She thick.
She is thick. What do you want to say? I don't want to sit down because we're going to be there for ages. Oh, this is where we were sat at Hades Town.
Oh, look at that.
There's no audience feedback, it's a bit weird. It's very quiet. Oh, they've taken out the row there.
Oh, look, that's very nice, isn't it?
Wow. So this is our view. So literally we're on par with them. I thought they were going to be like this, but no. you can't really see much on the vlog, but it's really, really pretty.
So on here, it says Ziegfeld Follies, I think, on this side here. Just over here. It's all lit up currently, you can't see it.
Do you know what do you know about the show without spoiling it for me?
All I know, so I've only seen one number from the show, which was at the Olivier's. Other than that, I don't really know much more.
Oh wait, yeah,
Imelda
I watched the
Staunton was in it
Olivier's.
originally, but she's not in it this time around.
Oh.
It's got Janie D, who I've seen in a play called Hand to God, which was quite funny. I obviously, as I was saying earlier on, I vaguely know someone in it, which is interesting.
How do you know them? Do you want to tell the story?
I can do.
Go on.
So basically, my auntie, she works with disabled and autistic people in a care home in my hometown, and the lady in the show, it's called Dawn Hope, and she originally, and I think maybe still does do work with autistic disabled people as well, and she started off doing extras work, ended up getting a role in EastEnders.
Wow.
And then did Scottsboro Boys. She did the original run here of this production, and she is now doing the second run of this production.
It's nice to know someone who's genuinely lovely.
I think
Because my brother works with young adults who have autism or learning disabilities.
I think she's done more. I believe, I don't know, I'll have a look when we have a gander in the programme,
but no intervals, so there's not going to be like Hades Town where we were like outside, like, oh my god.
So hopefully going to go to stage door and meet.
Say hello. Show's starting in 2 minutes. Lewis, is there anything you'd like to add?
2 hours late. My bum don't get in.
2 minutes. Oh yeah.
It's 2 hours straight through, no intervals. So.
Yeah. Which we saw a play last night called Pornography, which was 2
the
hours
thing is
straight.
that you know me, I fidget sometimes.
Yeah, but there's sort of knee room here, so we should be okay. I can't really say anything because I don't know anything about the show. I just really like Stephen Sondheim.
I don't know nothing either, so I can't comment. My friend Miles seems to think that I won't like it.
Are you going to do a review?
Yeah, I'm going to do a review. I'm just not vlogging because
There we go.
I'm just bothered. I know it sounds a bit, but...
I love that. Okay, bye guys.
Stop by on your way home.
Hello everybody, I am home from Follies at the National Theatre. I don't know how I'm going to do this review just because I don't really know this show very well, and there's literally like 40 people in the cast, so it's hard for me to talk about people specifically, especially because the free programmes they gave out don't have pictures. So I don't know anybody, so I don't know their names. I enjoyed it, but I can definitely say that it isn't one of my favourite musicals, and this isn't because of... Well, I think it just comes down to like personal taste. I'm very like contemporary and I like things like that and new, like Come From Away, Hades Town, stuff like that. Whereas obviously Follies is much older than that. I believe it was the 70s actually. I might need to correct myself there. When was it first premiered? First premiered on Broadway in 1971. Okay, so I was right. Yeah, so because of that, just the style of it, and I just feel, how to explain? Okay, let's just talk story. As we all know, because I've said it a bazillion times, I love good narrative. I love like a really strong, like plot-driven story, and it starts off where you think it's going to go in a completely different direction to what it ends up being. It introduces all these characters, and basically, so just the basic outline of Follies, non-spoiler review for this vlog. And it starts off in what used to be like an old show theatre sort of thing, where they used to do like cabarets and shows and things like that, and then you'd be one of the girls. And it starts off with like you've got this like half of the set is like destroyed like theatre and seats and lights and stuff, and then everybody's coming on, like it's introducing all of the characters sort of, and you've got like younger versions of the main characters around, and they're representing when they were the showgirls or their lovers or like, you know, their boyfriends or whatever, husbands, I don't know. And then you've got the older ones coming in, and the older ones are obviously, they've come for like to be reunited with everybody else because this theatre's getting knocked to the ground to be turned into a parking lot, which to be honest makes me sad. I was sat there and I was like, this is happening a lot with a lot of venues now, just because like theatre, it's not dying, but a lot of regional theatres, not London, are, and it made me sad, so that's one thing I wanted to say. Anyway, so yeah, it's about like that, and like these older characters reminiscing the times when they were younger, and then it turns into like a love story. So like it's like a love story between the four, I guess you call four main characters, although it's hard to say that they're main characters. So you've got like 2 girls, 2 boys, and there's like love triangles all through in that. I really can't even wrap my head around it now, because there wasn't an interval. I couldn't speak to Lewis and be like, Lewis, what is happening? Because I'm confused. For me, it just felt like the plot was a little bit all over the place. There were lots of really cool things. I loved the fact, obviously I didn't get to see this when it was initially on Broadway, but I'm going to assume when it was, that they didn't have the younger versions of the characters on stage with the older versions at all times. So I really, really liked that. If they did, beg my pardon, I'm really sorry, but it just felt like that was like a new addition. Well, the set was lovely, the set was beautiful. They didn't use the revolve a ton, but when they did, it was necessary. I wish the band had been on stage somewhere. Like, you couldn't see them. They were at the back of the stage with like a curtain down, so you couldn't see them, but you knew that they were there. But I wish they'd have, you could have just seen them in the back a little bit. That was all. I did enjoy the fact there was a big ensemble. It was nice seeing a lot of, you know, new faces, but it was just a little bit confusing because I was like, oh my God, there's so many new people that I need to memorise and remember who they are. So Lewis, on the other hand, really, really enjoyed it. So I do recommend, when he does upload it, to watch his vlog, his review on it, because he, I guess he just read it better than I did. I just felt like it was lacking, for me, it was just lacking like storyline and narrative. And although something I did like was there's a lot of older cast members in this show who are like 40 to like 60 years old, maybe even older than that, without, you know, I don't want to offend anybody in the cast that maybe they're not that old, but they were definitely portraying somebody who was in their like some up to like their 70s, 80s. So it was really nice to see a lot of women and men, I guess, but mostly I was having a focus on women because I'm a woman, seeing that many older women in a show like this. And there was like this tap number, and they did tap dancing, and I was like, this is great, because this is a skill that they've, you know, might have known, maybe they've learned it for the show, but to me it come across that they were dancers when they were younger, when they were the ages of the younger versions of themselves. So it was nice seeing, you know, older women doing tap and singing and being phenomenal and, you know, being talented, because let's face it, there really aren't that many roles for older women, especially in like, usually there might be like 1 per show, but in like big groups like that, there isn't really any. So I enjoyed that about Follies. It was different in that aspect. In terms of music, obviously Stephen Sondheim is a genius, and I do need to listen to the music more, but I didn't like it as much as you know, things like Sweeney Todd, Company. Company for me just read so much more clearly and better for me. So yeah, what else did I want to talk about? The ensemble in general as well. Sorry, Lewis keeps texting me. He's downstairs. Ensemble, all really smiley and great and lovely. Maybe it was just that as well. Maybe, thinking about it, maybe it was that didn't read well for me. Whereas if I was to compare it to, you know, what I just saw on Monday, Waitress, for example, you followed Jenna and you were very focused on Jenna and what she was doing, whereas this one you're trying to focus on many different people, and the styles of acting are just totally different. So Waitress felt very truthful and real, whereas the style of acting for this one felt a little bit like, we know we're putting a show on, if that makes sense. It's just different methods of acting. I'm not discrediting either way, but I just connect more with the more truthful side to acting. Maybe that's just because that's how I'm being trained at my school, to be truthful. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you're in, if you want beautiful costumes, beautiful choreography, beautiful music, then yeah, you go see Follies. That's my review. I've tried to be fair. I'm not here to be mean. There's no need to be, but it's just my opinion. So it's had amazing reviews. It's been nominated for a lot of awards. There's some really amazing numbers and choreography. I think for me it was just narrative. People that stood out for me quickly as well, I just wanted to mention, I really hope I'm saying the right people, Young Phyllis and Young Sally, which is Christine Tucker and Gemma Sutton. As far as I'm aware, there were no understudies on tonight, I'm assuming it would have been put in here because there was no cast board anywhere. So they really stuck out for me. And also, funnily enough, Dawn Hope, who we spoke to at Stage Door, which is someone that, you know, like Lewis spoke about earlier, who plays Stella Deems, she like led the tap number and she was just phenomenal and crazy, and she had microphones running down her legs so that her tap shoes would pick up the sound, which, you know, for the rest of the auditorium to hear, because obviously I'm sat front row so I can hear everything, but people at the back, they can't hear anything. So I was like, wow, she's got microphones running down her leg. So yeah, that was cool. Yeah, I would talk about the ending, but I don't want to, this is a non-spoiler review, but also the ending didn't read well for me as well, as in, not the very end, but the weird bit before the end. Those who've seen it, you'll get what I mean, so comment below if you get what I mean, because that didn't read well for me. That was also something Lewis said he didn't get either, so I'm like, oh, thank God it's not just me. So yeah, that was my Follies review at the National. It was really weird being in that venue because I've seen Hadestown 3 times there. I kept expecting Orpheus to come out or for Hades to just miraculously appear and be like, when I was a young man like you. So, yeah. I love Hadestown, in summary. Bye. Subscribe. I don't know when I'm going to upload another video soon, by the way. I have no theatre visits planned, and I don't know if it's coming across, but I'm emotionally and physically exhausted from the week I've just had, because I've seen 4 shows in a week. I've seen 2 shows at my college, the 3rd year actors, so I've not vlogged that obviously because of my friends. So yeah, 4 shows in a week. I'm been doing 9 till 7 most days at my school. I'm going a little bit crazy and insane because I'm so tired and I've got work tomorrow at 9:30. As usual, bring on the weekend so I can get to Monday and have a chill day, because Mondays are my chill days. Yeah, TMI. Like and subscribe, stay stagey. Bye guys.